You come here thinking there is a way out of this world for you, Mr. Wick. Or is not.
Hi, and welcome into Meet Me in the Movies Open Dialogue. I am Thomas Manning, and today I'm really excited to be sharing with you my recent interview with actor Bill Skarsgård, talking about his role as the Marquis in John Wick Chapter 4. You probably recognize Skarsgård from a number of fairly iconic roles over the past few years, including Pennywise the Clown in Stephen King's It. And this was a really great conversation, and Skarsgård is I'm always just drawn to any of his performances and any of his work he puts on screen. And I really appreciated this brief segment I had with him in an interview junket. So thank you so much again for watching and listening. And I hope you enjoyed this interview with Bill Skarsgård talking about John Wick Chapter 4. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time for this today. I'm very excited to be talking with you about John Wick Chapter 4. And over the past few years, you've played a lot of fascinating characters that could be considered the antagonists of their respective narratives, whether that be an extremely obvious villain like Pennywise or someone who falls into more of a gray area like the Marquis in John Wick. So as you approach these characters, do you find any thematic through lines across these different portrayals of antagonistic roles?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times the antagonists of a story get to be a little bit more colorful than the traditional hero. So there's something very appealing about that you can kind of be a little bit more out there in your performance and I do enjoy that part of it. Now then, how you approach a role like that, you can't approach the character of the movie as a villain because he doesn't consider himself a villain. I think most people don't consider themselves villains, even the ones that, maybe objectively are. So you try to kind of go do your character work as if your character is the hero of the story, which is a fun brain exercise in of itself.
Absolutely. And this was your first time working with Chad Stahelski as a director, but you've previously worked with David Leitch, a close collaborator of Chad's. So was that background experience in working with David beneficial as you came onto this project with Chad and his crew?
Yeah, I've worked with David twice. I really like him, and I have met Chad a few times before as well, through my connection with David. And yeah, it was very flattering when he wanted me to be a part of his massive action franchise of John Wick. So great, and I really support both of those guys. They've climbed the ladder in the industry from stunt guys to second unit directors to full blown sort of visionaries of the medium right now. So it's really cool. I admire both of them.
And in most of your scenes in this film, your character, the Marquis, is not engaging in the action sequences himself. He's primarily an observer of the action, but you do get quite a few moments of extended dialogue with other actors, whether that be Keanu Reeves or Ian McShane. And I imagine the focus on being detail-oriented and crafting these smaller scale scenes is just as significant as compared to the specificity and the huge action set pieces. So how does that contrast between the massive spectacle of the action and the more focused one-on-one conversations with your character inform your approach to these dialogue scenes?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. To your point, my character doesn't get his hands very dirty in this one. He sort of sends off his goons to do his bidding, um, and yeah, like I finished a movie last year where I did a lot of martial arts and fighting and choreography. I didn't get to do it in the John Wick one, which when then you focus on dialogue and performance. And there was a fun thing of I noticed as I was doing this other movie how it sort of correlates. Like line delivery is all rhythmic, really. So you find a way of delivering a line, and especially how you play it off of your partner in the scene. There's moment you find a groove to it and a rhythm to it. As I was doing fighting scenes, there's a pattern of it that's sort of similar because it's all choreographed. So action moves that feel counterintuitive are just like a line that feels counterintuitive. It's like, oh, it just doesn't feel right that my body would move this way or that way in this given point. And that came kind of intuitive to me. And it's the same thing for when you do a scene and you go like, what's off here? This line is not working with the scene and the structure of the scene for whatever reason. And then you change that thing and you're finding out what it is. Sometimes you don't know what it is until you do it a few times, and then, okay, that thing was the one that felt counterintuitive. And then once you move it, it flows better. So I don't know. I've never thought about really comparing the two, but there is similarities in a strange way. Now going into like what these guys have done with John Wick 4, I mean, it's nothing short of amazing, I think, in terms of how advanced you can go with incorporating camera work and very sophisticated fight choreography. I think the fourth installment in the franchise is groundbreaking in that regard. So and Chad keeps going, and I think everything he does, he's pushing that boundary of what has been done before. So.
Oh, he certainly does. And Bill, I really do appreciate your time today. I know you have a busy day, but thank you for fitting me into your schedule to talk about John Wick Chapter 4. And hopefully we get another chance to speak about one of your future projects.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a great one.
You too. Bye.